Alright, this is a pair of Meyer Sound Milo 60s that I recently picked up off of eBay. I just tested them, all the drivers work, all the plate amps work, and this is going to be documenting the process of how I'm going to go around about cleaning these up and yeah, hopefully relisting them for sale. So far with what I've heard, they sound very, very good. And yeah, thought you guys would be interested in seeing what it takes to rebuild this. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so as you can see, I've taken the dust cover off, just had screws for the plate amp, and I've removed these plastic inserts. And now I'm trying to figure out how I can actually lift this thing up without damaging it, because I'm sure the plate amp is also really heavy. Just being very gentle. I do not want to damage this. Okay, it seems like it should be free now. There we go. There's one side. Alright, here we go. So it looks like we have red and black connectors on top. Unplug those, and then other speakers down there. Pull that guy out. Alright, so let me set this down. This is the amplifier out of a Milo 60. Nice. Let me set that down. We'll be taking a look at that. Down here. Alright. Yeah, let me show you guys what's down here. There's a bug in here. Alright, so as you can see, these look like two tweeters that I'm assuming are joined up with some sort of waveguide down there. It's a moth. Then that looks like one of the mid-frequency compression drivers. Not compression driver, sorry, just a mid-frequency driver. And then I'm assuming that on either side, this section and this section would be separate cavities for the low frequency driver. Doesn't seem like it's continuous. I can feel a wall down here. So there's no wave integration happening back in the box. It might be like all the phase plugs and the integration might be happening on this front thin strip. Yeah. Anyway, let's vacuum out the inside of here and we'll clean up the gasket. And next we'll go and clean up the dust cover. Take that one off as well. But no one's getting me music, so I can not work in silence. So, for those curious, these are Meyer Sound Milo 60s. Yeah. Alright, so I wanted to take a quick look at this amplifier. For those that could be interested, this is what it looks. Seems that there's like this gasket type material on both sides, which is interesting. Oh, for the rain cover. Yeah, so that's to keep water intrusion out. This actually seems to be the air inlet, because if we spin it around, it's actually pretty, got some weight to it. Let me put it down. You can see these four large fans, which are going to be pulling in air from up there and bringing it up and through into here. Actually seem to be in okay shape. There seems to be a little bit of buildup on the inside there that I'm going to clean off. And you can see the scuff marks from the two wooden rails on the inside here that help to support the weight of the amplifier. And yeah, these are the two speaker outputs on top. Looks like a little bit of glue there that seemed to hold it in there from the vibrations. I'll have to redo that. And you can see here are the transistor heat sinks on the back. Really thick fins. I'd think that they'd get thinner fins, but I guess this is to prevent dust buildup because we're working in a semi-outdoor environment. But yeah, you can see this amplifier is honestly maybe not as big as I expected, but nice carry handle on top. And there you can see Milo 60, made in the USA. So the nice thing about Meyer's is everything's made right here. So that means that you can get parts changed out same day. They don't have to wait for overseas shipping. So yeah, you can see really good quality. I mean, everything in here is really, really nice. But yeah, I did a little test strip here for cleaning off, just using normal Clorox wipes. And next I'm gonna go ahead and clean. You can see how dirty that is. And you can see on the edges here, there's actually some flaking off with the paint there. So we're gonna go get that color matched. Gonna clean this up with acetone and clean off the old rust, and then put a new layer of paint on here. Yeah, so we don't want that to spread. Like as long as it's on the surface, it's okay, but as soon as it starts penetrating in, we don't wanna compromise the structural properties of these rigging points right here. So yeah, gonna keep going. All right, so just using normal Clorox wipes here. Actually, not even Clorox wipes, they're like this knockoff brand. But we're just gonna get these parts out of the way. You can actually store them up here so I don't lose the washers. So yeah, just taking this and going down the line, cleaning these guys up. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, these are actually, I was thinking that these might be UV damaged, just from the way that the paint was looking, with that like slightly faded look. But I'm thinking that these were not UV damaged, it's just dust. Really, it's like a mixture of dust and a bit of moisture that made it like stick on really, really well. Because you can see like, none of these logos or other plastic parts are really faded, especially after you clean them off. I think just years of dust built up on the surface of these guys and gave them that same faded look. But yeah, it's good news because that'll clean up really easily. Come out looking nice. And if a company were to buy these from me, as additional speakers, I'd want them to blend in with their pre-existing Milos. I don't want them to buy these two from me and have them look completely different from the rest of their stock. So, yeah, my job is to make them blend in. So it's in a safety cable bay. Oh yeah. Good. Nice. That cleaned up really well. Yeah, you can see a bit of grime came off. Keep going. There's like these white scuff marks everywhere that I'm not sure what they came from. But I'm hoping that it doesn't mean I have to buy patch paint for these, because it's not cheap. Jeez. Yeah, these scuff marks don't look like they're gonna come out. It's not yet. They look like surface scratches that that's alright. I'll take care of it. Alright. Next, I'm gonna pop the amplifier up. I'm gonna put a layer of cardboard down so I don't scratch anything. Alright, here we go. Bring the amplifier up. Let me just double check if that's in frame. Oh. Alright, yeah. So here's the plate amp. Again, I'm just gonna give it a scrub down. Clean off that gasket. That's not ideal. Here we go. Clean these fans off. So from that video, there is a little bit of dust buildup on these. So, the trick I like to do is for each fan, first I go and I put it around the edge of my finger and just slide it under there and try to clean off as much of that fin as possible. You can see how much stuff is coming off of there. I have to use my picky. These are looking like 40mm fans. So, sorry, excuse me, 60. Damn. Those actually might have to come out. I run my finger on the inside edge and clean the inside of that housing. Jeez, these fans are looking a little dirty. Jeez. It's a lot of grime. I mean, these fans are going to be the dirtiest part of the whole speaker. They get in contact with just so much air as they're recirculating that any grime, especially if it's like a humid day, will just start to stick Once you have like a little bit of grime on there, then like self-adheres. So yeah, you want to make sure these are nice and clean, so they move as much air as possible through the amp. Yeah, just going fin by fin here. Then give it around again. Here we go. That one was not that dirty. Make sure everyone spins okay. Good quality fans, I'll give them that. These things, I'm assuming, have spent a few years running, and bearings seem to still be okay. Didn't hear any noises running this thing, so. I would turn these on outside of the amp, but I'm assuming that these have built-in impedance checkers that'll activate the service light if it senses open circuits on any of the on any of the speaker channels. So I don't know if that's resettable, and I don't want to have to call a technician to reset that. So I will only be turning these on once I get it back in the housing. These outer two fans are a lot dirtier. I'm not sure why that is. You know, actually, I'm assuming that they probably run these mainly, and then only turn on these rear two when the amp gets above a certain temperature. So I'm assuming that these are standby fans that are kind of always running to keep the amp cool. But yeah, then these other two would be temperature, or yeah, dependent. Yeah, Milos are a few years old at this point, but I was listening to them, they still sound very good. Wish I had a sub here to pair them with. But yeah, those dual 12s still have a little bit of bass to them, especially at the volumes I'm using them at here while I'm testing. Doesn't take a lot, so actually can't remember if I did this one. And now we clean the sides. I'm just gonna put it inside here. Oh, actually, these are corrugated. I don't want to leave little flakes of Clorox wipe inside of there. So this will have to do. It's better than what it was. Took a lot of grime out of these. Try to clean this up. Yeah. It's looking better. Nice. All right. So, I'm gonna set this aside now. I think that's much better. Gonna move this out of the way. Yeah, you can see how nicely that cleaned up. Maybe a bit of that same rash here. I'm thinking that's just speaker rash. Yeah, I mean, until I buy patch-up paint, there's not much I can do about that. So, yeah, let me flip this thing on its side, and then we'll try to clean up the top. The top has more of that same rash. So, a bit more. Yeah. All right. Let's see if that's in frame. Just put this down. Yeah, these These are those rashes I'm talking about. You can kind of see them. I've tried getting them out and they just don't seem to want to come out. So it's okay. If I have to buy touch-up paint, it won't be the worst thing. But you can see, just going like that. Not too much grime, but enough to make a visual difference. Obviously, this will not impact the performance of the speaker at all. But it will affect the performance of my auction listing. So it's gotta go. It's looking okay. Let's see how much grime is on this side. I don't know how it got like that. Maybe that was the side that... Oh, you know what it is. I realized that this is hang one. These speakers were a part of hang one, and this is the side that was facing the outside, so I'd see a lot more dust and other elements coming from the outside. Grille. All right. let me actually now stand the speaker back up. I'm trying to remove the front grille here so I can clean it and also inspect the rubber gasket surrounds on the drivers. You can see here, I just removed these screws. I wasn't sure how to take these off, but I looked through this crack and I saw these screws were poking through there. So I'm like, all right, I should probably just remove those. And you can see this grill has started to come off. Looks like my guess was right. And I'm gonna flip it around, take those bottom two off down there, and yeah, hopefully I can clean this. This seems to be actually, I was expecting it to be foam, but it actually looks like a really, if I can zoom in on that, it looks like a really fine metal mesh. So yeah, I was thinking of getting like a really soft bristled brush and taking it slow and make sure this thing is nice and clean. But yeah, this actually looks to be in very good condition. There's no rusting even here on the screw hole. So yeah, I'm gonna take that off and we're gonna get this thing cleaned up. All right, here we are. Have it flipped on its back. And really from this angle, you can see how much, at the section I cleaned, how much nicer it looks. And I imagine that these little pores are probably filled up with dust as air moves back and forth, and that's definitely affecting the performance. Yeah, these are long because I have to go all the way through and reach that grill. So they're actually quite lengthy. I have a wide angle on right now. Coming pretty, not easily. But there you go. Milo 60s. Now, if I understand correctly, I think these are all the same base drivers, the Milo 60s, 90s, and 120s. But I think these, the only thing that changes is their angle of dispersion. So, these are 60 degrees, hence the name. All right. Just like that, comes out. And try to do this with one hand. I already have this side cracked, so we'll just give it a little bit of a tug. And there you go. Easy as that. Oh, don't do that. Did I just bump it? We'll set it down, now set back. There you go. We'll inspect these. That's what it looks like. These are little foam inserts, I'm assuming, for the ports on this 12-inch. And I'm assuming high and mid unit right here. Yeah. So I have now gone ahead and used a soft bristled brush with some detergent and cleaned this off. See, there's still some water trapped in there. But yeah, it's looking much cleaner. And I went ahead and cleaned up the inside cavities of here. Both these speakers are looking much better. Yeah, and check the surrounds on them, and seem to be no issues from what I can see. And even this filter material on the high end, on the mid and high frequency drivers, is in very good condition. Next would be do the exact same process on this other speaker. And yeah, from there, we'll do some more testing and fix up any other issues with them, such as this surface issue on the side there. Yeah, I think they'll be ready for resale then. Okay, I will now do a quick time lapse of me removing this grill and getting this side cleaned up and the back side cleaned up, as well as the amplifier removal. So I can go ahead and clean these covers, these rainproof covers. So, all right, let's do it.
Как же получить эту связку божественных пафосных аккордов? Высокопарные, очень утонченные фразы, описывающие пение ангелов и все такое. Смотрите.
Okay, so there's these rain covers, because these are the waterproof units, that I would like to wash. They're very, very dirty. And the first step is to take out these plastic inserts for rigidity. It's just some, I don't know, maybe like ABS inserts. They're gonna need to come out. There are these metal brackets where it attaches to the plate amp. And there are two stilts, but on one of the units that I bought, there's only half of one stilt. So we're gonna have to find something to replace that with. But this is ready to be washed. Check the other one. So let's go wash these. I didn't want to put these in the washing machine, so I just have them soaked in some detergent, and we're gonna let this sit for a bit, and then we're gonna come back and scrub it, and it'll be good enough. It'll look a lot better. Okay, so I've now gone ahead and cleaned the amplifier module on the second line array. And now we're gonna go ahead and reinstall this. So you can see I've cleaned all the fans, I've cleaned the heat sinks, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall this. That, since I'm alone now, I'm gonna accomplish that by first checking that all the fans are good. All right, so I'm gonna hold it between my legs and then reach in here, pull up these two connector wires, and connect them one by one. Make sure they're seated properly. And there we go. Drops into place. And then we'll take the rain cover, because the bolts thread through the rain cover into the plate amp module. So this is going to thread on like that. We're gonna get the I will move the camera a bit closer. So the way that these rain covers work is you need to make sure this Velcro goes underneath so it can eventually clamp on to that part, but it goes through the rain cover and then through the amp and then into the body of the line array. And yeah, I mean, the thing I like about all these Meyer products is the quality. I mean, this thing could have been toured its whole life and seen very little wear and tear, besides maybe a few broken drivers over the span of its life, and replace the module, but the body itself is really durable. And really, after being outside for these were installed in 2012, it's now 2023. They were moved out of service in December of 21. Oh, I installed this upside down. The only real damage that it's seen is to the powder coating on the rigging frame. So, yeah. I've actually installed this the wrong way. So I will cut back to when this is in the proper orientation. Okay, I'm now in the same place, and with the orientation the proper way, you can see how this Velcro has to come down and under to be able to secure the lid down for transport, because this rain hood is supposed to be folded down when it's not used. So, yeah, I removed all the plastic inserts so I'd be able to wash them, and the two stilts that it uses to keep it extended, it's supposed to have two, but every single one of these that I bought has damaged stilts. So I went ahead and got a piece of steel stock that I'm going to be upgrading all the stilts in these two so they're more durable, and I will be enamel coating that as well, just so that it's a bit more durable, especially if it's a rain hood. I mean, it's gonna be seeing the elements. It's in the name, so. There we go. I think that was orientated like that. Now we go ahead, we tighten all these down. Not super tight. But yeah, more on the quality of Meyer products is there aren't insert nuts on the back. There's actually a milled steel bar with the corresponding threads in all the locations that these screws actually thread into. And yeah, it's details like that that you end up paying for in a product like this. That's why these were 11,000, 12,000 when they were new a piece. And it's the kind of stuff that, yeah, you really only get at high-end products. I've seen like the JBL VRX series or something like the Martin Audio MLS arrays, and it's just not the same, you know. Concert level audio is no joke. Alright, so this folds out like this, and we'll go ahead and get that plastic insert. This plastic insert goes in here. There's a little sleeve where it tucks in. Just like that. Then you can see, this is an example of one of those stilts. There's this band holder in here, slides in two on each side. It's a bit stretched out. But then that is what goes down into here, in this pocket down here, and holds this upright so that there's still airflow for this plate amp to work. But I'm gonna be remanufacturing this. Yeah, and then when it's not in use for transport, this folds in just like the Velcro. The Velcro we tucked in comes and holds this guy down. Just like that. Yeah. As you can see, that is the sort of thing I'm trying to get rid of. You can see how it's flaking off there at the edges with the corrosion underneath. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of all the loose paint, and then we're gonna smooth the old powder coat down to the bare metal on a smooth gradient, so when we put the new paint over top, it is not very noticeable. You can see on this corner as well. And we'll do a quick time lapse of me scraping away and sanding this old paint. Alright, so as you can see, I've now sanded and cleaned, and I'm just gonna wait for this cleaner to dry, and then we're gonna rub this down with acetone, and we're gonna give this a quick paint. Actually, after a second inspection, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and rebuild these completely. All right, the speakers are now all packaged up. I loaded them on the pallet, and you can see here I have the rain covers fully extended. It's just to test out. I made these new upgraded metal inserts instead of the old plastic ones. You can see these made of steel. I found the plastic ones to snap quite often, so I went ahead and upgraded that to be steel. And yeah, so these are ready to be shipped off to the buyer, and I'm gonna package this up. We're gonna wrap this, and yeah, a truck will come and pick this up in a few days. So thanks for following along. This was, again, the rebuild of some Meyer and Milo 60s. And yeah, thanks for watching.